Oh yeah. Helps if I do the countdown. Deep thoughts with max voltage. Or sorry, random thoughts with max voltage. I screwed it up. That's right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Mondays with Max. How are you guys all doing tonight? Good to see you all. Appreciate you guys all being here. Let's do a quick rundown. Second TL is first today with Son of a Rabbit, not far behind. Jean-Francois is here. Vinny Del Greco, Travelers Travels, Black Hat Team, Crypto Crag, Scott Sheffield, Burn, Geek of All Trades. Yes, you got my reference. I appreciate that. I wonder how many people have no idea what Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy is. JF, Kyle Rosa, all for you miners. Brandon Coin is here. Welcome, sir. Crypto Tito, good to see you. Natoshi Sakamoto, love that name. Let's see who else. Integra Guy 041, and as I always say, not to be confused with 042. Just saying. Sunflower Mama is here alongside me. Appreciate her being along for the ride tonight. The Toxic Miner. Let's see who else has chimed in at this point. John English Tech, Alexander Fleener, Hawk Crypto Mining is here. Good to see you, sir. Hey, how do you feel about that Zach Wilson trade? Sounds like, just from the headlines, it looks like the Jets may have fleeced the Broncos. Don't know, but anyway. Yeah, no flannel tonight. It's getting a little warm. It was 70 degrees outside today. There's just no way. If I was by Wednesday, it'll be flannel weather again, but not tonight. Automatic Beats. Let's see who else is here. Gaming with Smokey Dan. All set. Let's see. Going down. I think I've said it. Caw Valley Crypto. Haven't seen you around. Good to see you. Turtle Tech. Bad Ace. J Rose. Patty Mac Crypto. It's about ready to say Patty Whack because he's another guy. Unless you changed your name. I know, not muted. I know. I threw you guys all off tonight. I understand. Sorry. Aztec Miner. Galaxy 9 Synthesis. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. And I think that about... yeah. Hot Crypto. Good riddance, Zach Wilson. I figured you wouldn't be upset about it. I just don't... headlines looked like... that looked like the Jets got the better... end of that deal. Like I said, I don't know any details at this point. I just saw a couple of YouTube videos as I was starting to create the video and such. So, and looking to see if anybody was live streaming before me. But at any rate, so tonight's going to be kind of a smattering of a bunch of different things because that's kind of how my thought process was this weekend. I was kind of all over the place with planning things out and not really accomplishing anything, but it gave me a lot of ideas, which was kind of cool. So that's why I will not have a shortage of content ideas. Again, turning them into content from content ideas into actual content seems to be my stumbling block. So hopefully I will get past that this week. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And then we'll just do a general AMA. So have your questions ready. So first thing, I don't know if anybody's come across this, but I was updating Windows. I talked about this a little bit on Saturday Night Live. But I was updating Windows on my computer and one of the updates wouldn't go through. So I looked it up. I actually had to repartition my drive in order to make a Windows update go through. I swear to God, they did it just so people would be forced to go to Windows 11. So I ended up, it was really simple. The instructions were really good. So that was at least good, but it did seem kind of crazy. And there were some people who were like, I don't feel comfortable partitioning my drive. I'm not doing that. Is there any other way around this? There was another suggestion that didn't work for me. Which I don't even remember exactly what it was, but at any rate, I remember it was to turn TPM on in the BIOS. That was the suggestion, but mine was already turned on. So that wasn't a thing. Maybe if I toggled it, it might've worked. I don't know. But yeah, so basically did that, to my computer and to my wife's computer, and away we went. It was weird though. My daughter's computer didn't have the same problem, so I thought that was kind of interesting. But anyway, that was kind of how my my Saturday started, and then I just kind of went into a bunch of different things. So one of the things that, especially around tax season, so I'm going to be upfront. I estimate how much power, and how do I estimate how much power I use for mining? I look back at how much power I used when I had 4 people in the house. So it's a very conservative measure, because we had less efficient things in the house. So using the power that we used 4 or 5 years ago before I started mining is very realistic. Again, like I said, 4 people in the house instead of 3. So it makes a lot of sense. So I know that I'm not deducting too much, but I'm probably deducting too little. So I started thinking about it, and then I remembered Geek of All Trades saying something about something he had used, and I couldn't remember what it was, but then he messaged him and he told me it's called, what was it called again? I always forget the name. Emporia View. Emporia View 3 is the latest one. Chum Change with the $9.99 super chat. I was today years old when I found out Max graduated 2 years before I was even born. That's really confusing the way you wrote that. But what he's trying to say is I graduated from high school 2 years before he was born. That's what he's saying. It wasn't confusing at all. Okay, so she got it. All right. So, and how that came up. See, maybe like, how did that even come up? So Chump has, and you may have seen it in his shorts in the basement.
Did you see his shorts?
Well, not those shorts. Anyway, in his shorts, when he's shooting the basement, he has a Super Bowl, like winner's cup type thing display. And I'm like, okay. And again, he's from the Boston area. So think New England Patriots. So I had to look, where was the 1986 Super Bowl where Chicago completely destroyed the New England Patriots? Yeah. Super Bowl shuffle. Yep. Those Bears. The real monsters of the Midway. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, so I had to make sure I pointed that out. So I'm like, okay, the one that I really like is the one 4 down and 1 over. So the second one, I said was the second one on the 4th row. And he's like, I wasn't even born until here. And he circled on the picture, like where he was born. I'm like, yeah, that was 2 years before. And that means that he's obviously pretty close to being exactly 20 years younger than me. So he must be about 36, unless he hasn't turned 30. He is going to turn 36 this year, at some point. I don't remember when his birthday is. But anyway, thank you for the super chat, Mr. Chump Change, very much. So anyway, back to what I was saying about the Emporia View. So what this does is it actually is a monitor for your whole house, but it monitors individual circuits. So I got the one with, so I actually ordered it. It's coming on Thursday. I wasn't going to do it during the week. So I'm like, I don't get it until Thursday. Plus I get an extra 1% rebate on it through my Amazon credit card. So I was kind of like, all right, cool. So I'll be installing that, and I will be taping that installation. I saw somebody else install it. It looks pretty darn easy. One thing I did find out was they're like, with your solar, you have to put the clamps around the solar feed. Well, my solar feed goes directly into my meter. That's where my line side tap goes. Well, I'm not going to be able to feed these wires outside and have them reach to this. So that's just not going to happen. So I won't be monitoring the solar, unfortunately, at least not through that. There is actually another thing I could buy that I could actually get, like a Solar Edge app that will show, everything, how much your solar's producing, how much your house is drawing, how much is coming from the grid. there is that system available, but I'm not going to really worry about that. Main thing is I wanted to know how much power my different circuits are drawing. So right now, like in the basement, I'm using 3 different circuits. I'm using a 30 amp 240 volt circuit. I'm using a bathroom 20 amp 120 volt circuit, and then a bar 20 amp 120 volt circuit. So the 220 volt circuits aren't fully maxed out or anything, but they are using a considerable amount on those. So and then of course what I've got running up here is using a good amount of energy. So I'll be monitoring obviously the den, those 3 circuits, those are a given. So we shall see. Okay, well here, I'm seeing a lot of tags. So let me, Geek of all trades. Whoa, Sunflower Mama, where did your mind go? I know it was a while ago. So Todd Tebow says, I graduated in 1988. You were a couple years ahead of me, LOL. Oh, sorry. And that was the other thing. How this came up, or how this kind of came up again today was, Crypto Zombie was stating how he was a millennial and he was, you know, an old guy compared to the Gen Z. And I'm like, I put in the chat, wow, that comment just made me feel ancient. So it was pretty funny this morning. Let's see what else. Geek About Trade says, make sure you pay attention to the arrow on the clamps. The amperage meter is directional. Yeah, I actually have already read through the instructions. So I did notice that they made very specific reference to that. So yeah, you have to make sure that the arrow is going the direction of the current. So that seems pretty logical. But I suppose if you are putting things in a typical junction box, maybe where it's kind of like upside down with the way it's being fed, I could see somebody reversing it by accident, by hanging them down like they normally would, when in fact they have to kind of hang in the opposite direction. Let's see. I have a video on that solar app. It's super easy with Raspberry Pi. Really? I'll have to look for that. Huh. Okay. I will look for that. Interesting. Now that's with your solar system. So yeah, but I'll look at that. I'll see if there's something that I can apply to what I've got. Jokermeyer says, thank you for the Hivemapper blue bar tip Saturday night. So yeah, one of the things, like I said, a lot of random thoughts tonight. So I was watching a video by Chris Bagnell, and he mentioned in there that, hey, and I'm sure it's been mentioned in a bunch of other videos as well, but this is the one I saw, and this is the one that resonated with me. Because I'm sure Joe said something about it on one of his streams on Sundays. But he mentioned that because there's so many pictures coming in, they don't have the horsepower to do it centrally anymore. So they're offloading that processing to the camera. So if you've noticed that you may not be getting all of the pictures, getting credit for all the pictures you've taken, that's probably because your camera hasn't caught up. And if you connect to your camera while you're on the road, and you see at the top left of the screen, there's going to be a little like blue bar after you've been driving for a little while. And when you stop, you'll start seeing it come down as it processes through the pictures. So like, for instance, today, I don't know why it seemed to be going a little bit slower than it normally does. I didn't feel like waiting. So what I've been doing on days like that is, in the morning, I drive to work. It's not dark out, but it's too early for the Hivemapper to be working. So what I do is I turn the Hivemapper on anyway, because then it's able to process the pictures and upload them at that point. So that's what I've been doing. You can also get a 12 volt setup where you can actually bring the camera in the house if you have a lot of stuff that's backlogged on the camera. But yeah, if you've seen your payouts go down a lot, that might be the reason why. So keep that in mind. And it's interesting because before he said that, I was kind of like, where did that blue thing come from? What does that even mean? I didn't even know. And then it would just disappear. And I'm like, I don't get it. Then now all of a sudden, now it makes sense. So you have a Hivemapper, make sure that that blue bar goes away, especially, I think you have until like Tuesday sometime in order to get your pictures in from the previous week. After that, it just deletes them. And then they're not useless. You don't get credit for them. You don't get paid for them or anything. So just make sure you get your pictures in over the weekend is what I always do. All right. What else did I miss? Geek of All Trades also said, oh no, he said that. Okay. And he said that. All right. So no more, I should put a poll up to see, how young my crowd is versus how old my crowd is. So I see Hawk was class of 2009. Travelers Travels was class of 1991. Okay, Gen Xer. I don't think he's he wouldn't be a millennial at that point. So another Gen Xer. Love it. The forgotten generation. In case you don't know, which you probably don't because you're like, Gen X, what the heck's that? Joker Miner, class of 2002. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I've met Joker Miner once before. So that seems about right as far as how he appeared to me as far as his age. Gaming with Smokey Dan 1898. Yeah, I don't think so. Alexander Fleener 91. Okay, there's some older guys here. Blackhead Team 1994. D White Dropout. Well, when would you have graduated? That would have been like your typical when you're 18. What would have been your graduation year? Dakota Miner 1984. Wow. Crypto Crag, you are not class of 1949. Not a chance. Not a chance. Let's see. Dan Jorday, class of 2001. Gaming for Fun says born in 92. Definitely a millennial. All set, class of 2009 computer engineering grad. Nice. Yeah, I'm electrical engineering grad, but I graduated in 1990, a little before your time. Let's see. That would have even been probably before you were born. Let's see. Game of Swing and what I looked after myself still look great. GED 2002. Oh, you might. I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. There's people that go into the trades and things like that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Alexander Fleener. Thanks, Max. Calling me old. Hey, I get called old all the time. So, you know, kind of goes with the territory. Paddywhack Miner, class of 1989. Nice. Nice. Was 16 when you got your GED. Nice. Probably just tired of school. There's people that do that. There's people that do that. Nothing wrong with that. I knew it. I was pretty sure you were serious because I was like, I thought you told me you got your GED instead of doing that, but wow, chump. The good enough diploma. Hey, you know what? Yeah, we used to say in college, C's equal degrees. Still got your degree. GED still says you knew everything you needed to know in high school. So, okay, what else am I going to talk about? So another rabbit hole I went down this weekend, because it was a lot of power related things. I started looking at batteries, like Tesla wall batteries. But I wasn't looking at Tesla wall. I was looking at SolarEdge because of compatibility and deals that were going on, that type of thing. So from best I could tell, in order to get a 9 kilowatt hour battery, it was going to be about $7,000 installed. It might even be more installed, but let's just say $7,000. So then I was looking at it, and you can install with the type of system I have, you can install 3. I was like, okay, so that would get me about 27 kilowatt hours of power. The idea that I was thinking of was, okay, basically having them charge when it's super cheap at night, and then having them discharge when it's more expensive. But the difference between those two needs to be pretty darn great to have it even make sense. So I started like looking at it. So I'll run you through some of the math. So again, for every 1 cent, okay, and it's going to be 27 kilowatt hours. Okay. So a kilowatt hour is going to be on average where I'm at 12 cents. But if I'm talking about just 1 cent of difference, and again, this scales, but if it's 1 cent of difference, what would that mean? So 27 kilowatt hours, I mean, pretty simple. 27 times 0.01 is going to equal, you're going to save 27 cents in that day if all you save is 1 cent. So if you save 10 cents, then it's going to be $2.70. Let's just say crazy that you can actually save, but you cannot save an average of 10 cents a day. But let's just say you could. So $2.70, it becomes really obvious that this is not worth it at all. $2.70 times 365. That's about $1,000. Those 3 batteries are going to cost you at least $20,000. That's a 20-year payback. Now, if you wanted to get a battery backup, for the main priority reason is so that you could have battery backup if your power goes out, that's a different story, because that is an additional feature that you can get with this. Obviously, if you're going to get batteries, why wouldn't you? But yeah, it's not worth it unless you have power that goes out quite often. So even with the 30% tax rebate that you would get with it, it's still talking about like a 14-year payback. So break even. So it's just not worth it. Just not worth it, which is really sad. So obviously it's newer technology. It is getting cheaper all the time. So we'll see where that goes. But I'll keep an eye on the technology. It is interesting to me to be able to do that. And even the fact that you could even do it in such a way where you have your batteries going full blast when power rates get crazy, where not only am I able to do the power in the house, I could actually be providing a little bit outside. So right now I'm somewhere in the range, like I said, about 10 kilowatts consistent throughout the entire day. And then everything that my family does is a little bit above that. So if you had 3 of those batteries, each battery can do 5 kilowatts consistent power. So you obviously with 3 batteries, you could be doing 15 kilowatts. So if you have 10 kilowatts, so obviously I could be putting 5 kilowatts into the grid if I wanted to for a period of time until my batteries obviously ran out. So that would be kind of cool if the cost of electricity was like super high. So that's kind of cool. Mining King says, when Max Hydroelectric Company, I don't have any creeks around me. That is just simply not possible. Looking into a car. Nissan Leaf?
Yeah, researchers use Nissan Leaf 40 kilowatt hour battery conversion less than 5,000.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I see. All for you miners. Please research a used Nissan Leaf 3,500 USD 40 kilowatt battery conversion less than 5,000 total $4,000. Huh. Alrighty. I will write that down. That's another, thanks for another rabbit hole for me to go down. Appreciate it. Panda, you're on vacation. You're on vacation.
Apparently they're having to dig a creek for you.
Oh. No, please do not dig a creek for me. I like the fact that my house is on high ground with no creeks nearby. We do have some wetlands that are down the street, but they're about 10 feet, somewhere between 10 and 15 feet below where our house is. So I'm writing it down. Nissan Leaf battery conversion. Alrighty. Thank you. Appreciate that. That sounds like a fun thing to look into. Hawk, don't make me ban you for spamming the chat.
You gotta let Joker Miner do it. He wants to do it.
Oh, he wants to do it?
Joker Miner.
Oh, I'd have to yeah. I will. I am not above or below taking your moderator thing away. Just so Joker can ban you. Just saying. All right. What did Video Dog Greco say? Stonewatch jeans with a tight roll. Yeah. Yep. Good old look. Oh, that is true. That is true. Geek of all trades. I can help you get used data center batteries for cheap, like ahead in Georgia. I mean, yeah, but how much power did those put out? I mean, I'm talking about like 9 kilowatts, 9 kilowatt hours of storage. How much storage did you have? And then the other part is that trying to get them tied in to my circuit breaker and having it be somewhat legal. That would be the difficult part, because if I start pushing too much power out, like if I start pushing out power at like 3 a.m. in the morning, they're going to kind of know, because solar doesn't work at 3 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, it doesn't work at 3 a.m. I just triggered Sunflower Mama because I said 3 a.m. in the morning. Because what other time? What?
3 a.m.
Gotta love it. Red Panda says terahatches.com, use code RPM for 50% off. I think you might have missed a decimal point there or something. Could be wrong. Hurry, Hawk, go mark up all the prices 100% so that you can give people 50% off. Let's see. All right, yeah, jump down. Joker, can I ban Hawk? I don't know. We'll see. Wouldn't that be fun? No creek. That shouldn't stop you. Make your own. No, I definitely do not want a creek. Let's see. Mining King says mini wind turbines. Almost no wind needed to talk to Blue Dragon. Yeah, there are definitely some advances in that field. The problem with wind turbines, so solar panels, nothing moves. Nothing moves. It just sits there, just gathers in the power from the sun. Wind turbines, they move, they wear out, they require maintenance. So it's one thing, and that's their struggle. Their struggle is to make wind turbines that require as little maintenance as possible. And so there are a couple companies that are working at that, as well as making them more efficient, so that you can gather more power with the same amount of wind. So there's definitely some things that are going on there, but they're not there yet. They're close, but they're not there yet where it makes sense to put on a where you're going to get a fairly quick break-even point, at least less than 10 years at least. Let's see. Yeah. Crypto Crag about RPM says he should be with his family, but he's in here. He's addicted. Well, I appreciate him being here. Oh, the family's busy. Got it. Geek of all trades, land of lakes, not land of streams. So Illinois is not the land of lakes. That's Minnesota. We're land of lakes.
It's well, their fucking license plate.
Yeah, I guess it is. But anyway, the land of lakes, that's all up north. That's like the chain of lakes. And Lake Michigan. We don't have many lakes around here. We have ponds. Anyway. Yeah, so here's the thing with Panda. So, guys know he's been like sick forever, okay? So he goes on a cruise. Well, I guess, hey, he's just trying to spread the love. He's been sick forever. Let's just go on a cruise so I can spread it to everybody. Panda pox forever. You get panda pox. You get panda pox. Yeah. All right. Gaming Explain can pump the wetland water up and shoot back down to power the turbine. It's down the street. Yeah, that's not happening. All right. Travelers Travel says, I think Panda sold a bunch of crypto and his vacation is really him going to pick up his crypto yacht. Maybe. That'd be nice. Just give me an invitation, please. All right. What else did I do this weekend? So one of the videos I will be putting out, and I gotta see, I thought I did this video, but obviously since I haven't done that many, the odds of me having actually done it are probably pretty remote. But somebody hit me up today and said, hey, how are you doing the mining in the background on Vast? So I'm going to do a video on that. I'm sure there'll be only a handful of people that will even watch it, but it'll be handy for those people that want to watch it. So watch for that this week. I'm trying to get it out Wednesday morning. Like around, I'll hopefully finish it up tomorrow so that I can have it come out about 11 o'clock on Wednesday. It seems to be when most people are watching my content when I put it out. So that is the plan. The other thing, so I think this was Friday night, or maybe it was Thursday night. Anyway, I had it with Vast. I was so frustrated. I have 1 out of my 10 rigs verified. So I just was like, all right, guys, I have the oldest 8 GPU rig that's not verified by 2,000 machine IDs. Okay. Mine is 17,000 something. The next nearest 8 GPU rig that's not verified is 19,000 something. I'm like, what is up? So finally somebody came forward and said, well, here's how it works. This is the thing that runs on your computer. Look to see if it's on your rig. It was actually. So that was a good thing. And he says, well, when was the last time that your rig wasn't rented for even a significant amount of time? I'm like, well, never. And he's like, well, that's the problem. He's like, let it sit idle for a week. He's like, and it doesn't necessarily have to sit idle. It just has to be an interruptible job on your computer. So, so anyway, let me finish this thought, then I'll get to the super chat. So I am gonna, once it gets to the point where the job that expires, I'm gonna jack up the on-demand price on it up really, really high, where if somebody rents it at that price, I'm not gonna care that they rent it because it'll make me a lot of money at that point. But and then see if I let it sit for a week, I'll have it probably mining mostly during that period of time, and then turn it back on and let's see if it gets verified within the next 2 to 3 weeks. One guy in the chat who has answered a lot of my questions says that has worked for every single rig that he has been putting together. He says the only thing is it's only if they are verifying those particular rigs. So let's say 4070. They're probably not verifying those right now. So I'm not going to worry about that. 3090s, maybe. I need to keep track to see if there are any, if the number of verified units is actually going up or not. So I'll be looking at those trends to see which ones. But certainly all the 4090s, I'm going to be doing this on, except of course the one that's already verified. So anyway, so that was something I was happy that I got resolved, and at least a plan going forward, because it will make a lot more money if it does get verified. Retro Mike $1.99 super chat, I appreciate it. Vast is trash. Zill also trash. Got it, sir. And I'm sure he's channeling Ovalbore tech with that. I appreciate that. I miss it. Let's see, what else did I do this weekend, or at least think about? That one. I've been thinking about upgrading my RAM. I think I've shown you guys this before, but it's sitting, well, let's put it right side up. It's sitting right here, 64 gig. I am going to do it tomorrow. I was going to think about doing it tonight, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't. They're like, no. My family's like, no, do not upgrade your RAM before you do your live stream. Something is going to go wrong if you do that. So I didn't. And I looked to see how much RAM I was using at the time. And I currently have 32 gig on the machine. So I'm going to upgrade it to 80. So I'm going to have 2 sticks of 32 and 2 sticks of 8 in there. So that's what I'm going to be rocking. Let's see. What else? Did that. Talked about that.
Anything says you need to upgrade your RAM, the tabs said growing even larger.
Well, yeah. I mean, so the problem isn't the tabs. The problem is the tabs and then trying to run hell miners at the same time. That's been the problem. It eventually starts and eventually runs, but kind of has a few hiccups when it doesn't have as much RAM as it would like to have. So yeah, would be better either to get my tabs under control or get more RAM. So of course I'm going the get more RAM route, of course. Oh, that was one thing. So let me talk about this first though. So as you guys know, I've been talking about getting a Neoxa node, and I've been accumulating Neoxa. I was accumulating actually more today, about 50,000 or so. So I'm at about 630, 650, somewhere in that range. So I got a ways to go. And I watched Red Fox's video on him doing his Neoxa node. Found it pretty interesting. So the Neoxa node, right now, again, price can change everything, but the Neoxa node makes about $60 a month right now in Neoxa. And it costs $6 to run at Node Orbit, which is where he was running it. And you know how much it costs to run it, to actually have your Neoxa at inodes? It's 10%, which is exactly the same. So it's kind of like, why am I stressing about getting a node this fast? Because I'm not sure I will even run a node. I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place with the node thing. I still am accumulating Neoxa. I think it's a good buy at this price. But it's kind of really started making me think like, maybe I'll just leave it at 9 nodes.
Second TL wanted to know if you can mine your Neoxa.
I mean, you could. You don't need to. Send me a DM if you feel that strongly about it. Not looking for handouts. Again, appreciate it. Sunflower Mama said, I am. So, hey, I bought her her Mother's Day present early. Sorry, it was just kind of something that happened this weekend. She bought a table for the patio. So she actually bought it for herself, but yeah. Well, I mean, you were the one who actually purchased it. Oh, I guess I did. That's right, because you didn't get it from Target. We ended up getting it from somewhere else. And we ended up getting it from Wayfair, of all places. So, oh, one other thing, one little update. I'm down 5 pounds. Nothing dramatic in 2 weeks, but it's better than being up 5 pounds. Better than being the same. So, starting to make a few more changes. Trying to drink a lot of water. Certainly drinking more water. That's been a challenge. So anyway, I'm accumulating Neoxa, but it's kind of got me thinking about, what the best way to go. I know that Pecunia has a $2 Neoxa node, but I've been running, let me check it out too. I've been running presearch node. I just started it at Pecunia, and the reliability score on it is horrible. So when I was running a presearch node on Flux, the reliability score was usually in the upper 70s or lower 80s consistently. This one's been running now for a number of days, and the reliability score is 55. And so why is that important? It does affect your payout. It affects how much you get. So I am unimpressed with this. So I don't know how the Neoxa nodes work, if there's any type of grading of the service level or what, but yeah, I'm not too high in pecunia right now with what I'm seeing here. I'm willing to let it run, but it has not been going up. It started out at 52, it's at 55. It's not much. So Integra Guy, member for 25 months. For the love of God, run your own node. Yes, that was my initial intention.
Because also it's like, wait, why are you not hosting your own nodes with that kick-ass network?
Yeah, I definitely can host my own nodes, no question. But I don't know, I've been kind of debating on what I'm going to do with different things on my network. So I do have room on that computer behind me. I could run a Neoxa node. But I was kind of like, well, maybe I could run like a mini NAS out of that. And like, nope, there's no space. I'd have to get a new case. So then I'm like, well, you know, the 4070 is not really making much. How could I turn a T7910 into a network? So this is the other rabbit hole I went down this weekend. How can I turn a T7810 into a NAS? And I'm like, well, I could do that, but there's only 3 drive bays. And then one of them I'd have to buy like an adapter for, like above the CD drive or DVD drive. And so I'm like, it's only 3. And I'm kind of like, I really kind of wanted 4. So I don't know, just going back and forth, and I'm like, you know what? I just need to save up for Synology or start looking for deals on eBay. That's what I need to do. I really need to start looking for deals on eBay, but Synology holds their value. So finding deals, I need to get with Geek, with Goat. Love my she shed. Nice. Well, hello, Mr. Hobbyist Miner. I appreciate it. Appreciate you showing up. And speaking of Hobbyist Miner, so there is, I'm going to be posting this and you'll see posts on this, but there is a $1,500 Bitcoin giveaway, you know, Gleam, all that. So it's a Gleam giveaway, but it's $1,500 and it doesn't cost anything to enter. So I am posting something in the community, but Hobbyist and Hobbyist is a moderator. Sorry, had to get that out. So if you could post your video here, and you'll be able to get access to that Gleam $1,500 giveaway. It's being provided by BitHome, I believe is what it's called. So they're making a new like GPU mining front end. From what I read, and I'm not like completely up on the project, they seem to be like what they're doing seems to be more of a target for the like the gamer who wants to mine some of the time. That's the way I looked at it. That may not be their intention, but it's run on Windows. So that's, I don't know, just with what they were saying, that's what it reminded me. It reminded me of like the one like step miner that what's the crypto that starts with a V? Vertcoin. Vertcoin used to have a miner like that, where they basically just download this and hit run. It was really, really simple to use, and it was targeted towards gamers with GPUs to make some extra money on the side. I kind of see this as somewhat like that. But hey, it's another entrant into the field. It's new, so certainly they do not have a track record yet. So be smart about it. If you are going to try things out, my suggestion is make sure you have it segregated from your network until we start hearing of people, and maybe it's already been done, I just haven't heard, but until we start hearing people that have validated that there's nothing squirrely about it, shall we say. So, but I mean, they've been in development for quite a while, so I doubt it is, but you want to be sure. Trust but verify is the way I always put it. So, and I was not the one who coined that phrase. President Reagan was the one, I believe, who coined that phrase. May not created the phrase, but he coined it. Okay, so check it out. Yeah, there it is. I was like, here, I'm gonna pin this to the top. There you go. So go there, get your chance to win $1,500 worth of Bitcoin. Believe it was 750, 500, and 250 were the three winners, possible winners. So go check it out. Can't hurt. You can't win if you don't play. And I guarantee it's better odds than the lottery. What was that? Oh, is it really? Well, yes. Okay, well. Okay, well, it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Just because it's from Russia does not make it bad.
Apparently it rhymes in Russian.
Oh, does it? Alrighty. Well, there you go. Apparently it rhymes in Russian. I had no idea. Joker Miner says, I won $500 from Coin Mining Central doing a Facebook post. Yeah, a Joker Miner. Geez. What? I seriously, I believe Joker Miner made a deal with the devil. So when does your time? No, I'm not even gonna say it. Anyway, I just was wondering when the deal is, like when you have to actually sell your soul to the devil. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Yeah, you're a hacker, man. Hacker. All right. Well, I think, oh no, I did have one more thing. So one of the things I've also had started and then stopped. Super chat. Brandon Coin with $1.49 hot dog. You know, it's funny you post a hot dog because we're having hot dogs and pizza for lunch at work tomorrow because we are 800 days without an OSHA recordable. No, hey, we celebrate them all. So yes, it could always be jinxed, but we celebrate every 100 days and tomorrow's 800 days. So it's also National Picnic Day tomorrow. So just so you know, as corporations, we have to do ESG. Never heard of that? Look it up, ESG. Mr. Iowa Crypto Mining, member for 13 months. Sorry I'm late. Subflower Mama is the best. I don't know who that is. Must have been typing a little fast. Keep it safe. I'm not sure what you were referring to, but oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the 800. Got it. Sorry. Wasn't understanding the reference because of something that happened earlier today. I think you know what I mean. So anyway, so we're having pizza and hot dogs tomorrow. So I have to actually go get them from Costco tomorrow before lunch. So it's a really cheap way to get some hot dogs for about 25 people. So it'll work. Won't be great for my diet, but one day. Well, I'm not. I'm going to have one hot dog and that'll be it. Because that hot dog is a big hot dog. So anyway, so as I was saying, I started doing Azure certification. So I started with just the very basic Azure certification. I forget what the number is, like 900 or whatever. Anyway, it's the base level one. Some people don't even get that. They just go through the classes and then move on to the next one. And then, so I'm right now, I am just starting the admin courses. And the reason why I paused was because I had been a subscriber of a Cloud Guru, and that site has just gone to crap. It just has. They haven't updated their classes to the changes that Microsoft has made. And there's been numerous people in there that have said the stuff that they're covering is not the stuff that's on the test. So I found, I don't remember what his name is, something media. I can't think of the name on it, but he is a self-taught coder. And one of the things he always said was he believes all coders should have knowledge of the cloud. Makes sense, since you're probably going to be uploading your code to the cloud in some cases, depending on what company you work for. So he had a video that basically said, here's how he would do it. And I had already seen this one guy's course, who I'm drawing a blank on who the name is, but that doesn't matter. This guy, the one I was already thinking about going with, he's like, this guy is the guy to go to for Azure classes. Pay for his classes. Don't pay the full price. There's sales all the time. So I ended up paying, I think, like $17 or something, $17 or $18 for the class. I can do it on my own time, which makes it cheaper than a cloud guru as well. And then he also said, go do the modules after you've done that class, which gives you the kind of the basis and the well-rounded basis of that. Then go take the Microsoft class, where they're going to point out the specific things in their modules that their test is going to test for. And then they said, go to this other site, which I can't remember, but there's another site to go to for practice tests. And he's like, once you get a 90, you should be good to go, and then take the test. And so there's a couple other things he suggested, but that is going to be my plan. I don't have a timeline yet for it, but definitely want to probably be somewhere in the July, August timeframe. I want to get that certification. So that's the other thing I'm doing. I'm sorry, what did he ask?
Any thoughts on Gold Shell changing their prices on the all box?
Oh, I did not know they changed prices, but well, they kind of needed to. With Bitmain coming out with theirs, yeah, they couldn't. But you know, that's the thing is, so great. You probably got a bunch of pre-orders at the higher price, and are they refunding people who paid that higher price down to the lower price they just lowered it to? I'm guessing probably not. But that's why everybody I knew was like, do not buy this. It's way too high. And as Chump Change had said, you're going to get wrecked. So yeah, and I know Mining King has said some very not great things about Gold Shell's quality. So that's the other reason. So, okay. But no, I do not have any thoughts because I did not know that they had actually lowered the price. Gaming Spooky Dan said, the last time I entered a chance to win through the hobbyist, I won $50 on BTC. Nice. Well, there you go. We have a true record of a winner of one of hobbyist drawings. So there you go. Joker Miner says, 113 here, 50 likes. Come on. We don't want to see my cleavage. You definitely do not. Definitely do not. Hey, but hopefully in about 9 months, there won't be any. That is the plan. 10 pounds a month. Let's see. Alexander Fleener, $6.99. I'm sure it's not $6.99 for the gold shell. Wait a minute. $699 is what they changed it to? Or $6,990? So, no, Techman, $699 for an Alpha. That's a really good deal if you can get it soon. Oh, Sox fan says 9,200 is $6K. So it's probably $6,999 would be my guess. Endless Mining, $5 super chat. Thank you. Sunflower Mama has just walked away from her desk. She is AFK. Yes, I do know how to use that term. Sunflower Mama starting her own YouTube channel. People would love seeing those DIY projects. Yes, I know. So I've been looking for a camera to either replace the ZV-1 or something that just for her. So I was actually looking at one of those little small cameras. God, I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, but the problem with it was a single focus and the background was always blurry. Well, what she's doing, you kind of need to see the background. It would not have worked. So kind of back to square one. We got to figure out what we're going to get for her. Gaming with Smoky Dan says it was in the marble game. Mine was first and hosted by BTC NFT Project. Interesting. Oh, the marble game. Whose marble came down first? Got it. Got it. So we are into the AMA portion of the show. I'm just looking to see if there was anything else. I'm also going to be changing out the motherboard on my mining rig downstairs. I'm going to change it. Right now it's kind of more or less a 7 GPU mining motherboard. It's pretty reliable. It's very reliable at 6. 7, it's pretty reliable. 8 and 9 is kind of quirky. So I want to get a reliable 8 GPU motherboard on that rig so that I can add other GPUs. So one of the things I was thinking about was I've got a 4070 that's not making a whole heck of a lot. It's like 10.5 cents. Be nice to be able to upgrade my computer to a more modern GPU. And I'll take the 3070 out and put that one in the mining rig downstairs. That's kind of the thought. But then I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that T7910. And that's where I'm kind of like, I can turn it into nodes because it's got 24 cores. No, 12 cores. It's got 12 cores. So what was that? Oh, yeah, she's got the EVGA double T problem.
It makes double H's now.
Oh, it's got double H's now. I know. I said 2. 2 also. They kind of mean the same thing. Let's see. Crypto Craig. What do you think about the BTC halving? BTC hash rate dropped about 15%. Yeah, somebody predicted that. I don't remember who it was, but they were pretty accurate in that. Nice job, Crypto Craig. But recovered back to 703 exahash, which is insane. Well, not surprising. People probably had a plan that they were going to turn off because they didn't think that they were going to be profitable. And then the fees and more fees and more fees and more fees. Yeah, there were lots of fees right at the time of the halving, and seems like it had been continuing. I don't look at it because I'm not an ASIC miner, so I don't look at that generally. But yeah, I'm sure that's probably a big reason why it's back up to over 700 exahash again. Let's see. Any other questions? So we are coming up on the bewitching hour of 9 p.m., which is an hour. Generally what I try to stay around, although it always seems like I go over. Well, here, I didn't update you on this, so let me take a look. I haven't even looked. So I'm going to bring this up. First of all, DJ. What was that? Yes, 9 p.m. at night. Yep. I don't think I said 9 p.m. at night. Okay, got it. But I like the fact that Vinny Del Greco tried to trigger Sunflower Mama. I like that. Yes, LTC versus Caspa. I am looking that up now. I know that LTC is still ahead. The question is by how much? Because I looked at it earlier, and unless Caspa went nuts. So let's see. Come on. All right. So Litecoin is at 85.48 currently. Nice jump of about 5 since the last time I updated this. And then Caspa. Oh, it's made some progress. 1272. So still about 30% to 17%. So Litecoin is still up more since January 5th when we started this. So we'll see where it ends up. End of the year is a long way away. This sucker could go either way. I made a bet. DJ made a bet. It's a gentleman's bet. Nobody's winning anything other than pride. Pride's important. So, DJ, you can say it all you want. Doesn't make it so. I hope it makes it so. I got Caspa. I have Caspa. Would love to see it go up as well. That would be good. Good. That'd be good. Alephium versus everything. I haven't even looked to see Alephium. Oh wow, I didn't trade that into oh no, I guess I did. There it is. Yeah, Alephium is I'm just doing it off of how much I have, just doing the math. It's probably about 260, 270. Something that range. No. Yeah. Yeah, 260, 270, that range. Got a ways to go to get back to where it was. But that's not too surprising. What's Radiant doing today? Looks like it's doing pretty well. Oh, maybe not. Let me see here. Let me see. Oh, it's up 2%. According to Trade Ogre. All right, what other questions you guys got? And don't forget about the Radiant having 50K per block to 25K. I know. Looking to see what may happen there. Interesting to see that considering it halved on the same day as Bitcoin. By the way, this just came up at dinner tonight. Did you guys know that Easter, do you know what day Easter's on next year? You know what day it's on? 420. That will be fun. That will definitely be fun. Alrighty, guys. I am going to call it a night. Appreciate you guys all for being here. Always fun with you guys. And you love the lamp. Which lamp? You talking about the Misfit mining lamp? Is that the one you're talking about? The one right there? Yeah, Sunflower Mama made that. Well, kind of. She took the GPU stand that Chump had 3D printed, and because it wasn't using, she's like, "Hey, I could make this," and she just used some origami paper and put a light behind it, and that's what you got. That's what you got. She is so creative. So, alrighty, guys. Again, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys all have a wonderful night. If you are new here, please hit the like button. And if you like this kind of content, please hit the subscribe button on the way out. I would very much appreciate it. And you guys all have a wonderful night. The General is out. Good night.